We're talking to Mayor PBredesen of the city of Nashville, Tennessee. And of course, Mayor, during this final segment that we have over the last 5 or 6 minutes that we have, let's give you an opportunity to sort of wrap up some things, to talk about some of the things that you believe to be important, to let the people know some of the achievements and some of the accomplishments that you've made in that area. Let's, for example, I think we've talked about schools, libraries. Let's talk about parks now.
Okay. Well, parks is an area I'm very proud of. When I first became mayor, one of the things I set out to do was to add some land to the park system. We have a wonderful park system in the city. It's one of the real benefits of the city. And while it's hard to imagine now, back in 1991, we had a circumstance where land was pretty cheap. It had kind of fallen off in value. And so we set about acquiring some. We've acquired 2 large parcels of land. One is Shelby Bottoms in East Nashville. That's about 4 miles along the river there, a beautiful piece of property. And the other is a large parcel of property which is called Beeman Park, because ultimately the Beeman family bought it and donated it to the city. But Beeman Park is, I want to say, 1,500 or 1,800 acres up there as well. But I'm real proud of those acquisitions. We've added more land to the park system in the last 5 years than in the previous 75 years in Nashville, and it's I think it's going to really be of a lot of benefit to future generations. It's something that that land will be there for a long, long time to come, and I'm real pleased with it.
Speaking of parks and trees, and I don't mean to interrupt, but the tornado that we had this past April, now what impact has that, what's the ultimate impact from your office's perspective dealing with that tornado?
Well, I think the ultimate impact ultimately will be seen as I mean, obviously it was a tragedy for people who were involved in it, but I think the city responded very well, and it's something we should be very proud of. There were a lot of, as you know, homes damaged, primarily in East Nashville, although some on the western side of the city. But the amount of volunteer activity that came out, the way that the city services responded, the police and fire and Nashville Electric and so on, I think gives us all a lot of reason to be proud. You can't, you know, you can do nothing about those kind of acts of God. I mean, they happen, but the way the city responded, both in terms of its government and its people, I think is something we should be very, very proud of.
Very good. Now, Mayor, during this last 3 minutes that we have here, let's give you an opportunity not only to talk to the people of Nashville directly, but perhaps give us some idea in terms of your future beyond September 1st. And let's do it from that perspective and give you an opportunity to do that over the last 3.5 years.
You know, I don't know everything I'm going to do. I felt it was kind of time for me to bring this chapter to a close. I'm real proud of what we've accomplished these last years. One thing I'm definitely working on is this land trust idea. There's a lot of open land. I guess it's kind of a continuation of the parks discussion. But there's a lot of open land, both in Davidson County and in surrounding counties, that I would love to find a way to preserve. It's part of what makes this part of the country unique and special. And we've already established a nonprofit organization to try and preserve some of this land. So I intend to work very hard on that. I've always been interested in the private sector, and I certainly would plan to do some things again there. I would love to try to help public education in some way. It's the other thing that I've been working on that I really love and really think's important. So I'm really going to just kind of finish things up as mayor. I've got some I dotting and T crossing to do. Maybe take a little time off. I won't take very long after September 1st, and just relax a little bit, and then roll my sleeves up and get started on these things again.
That's going to be an entirely new reorientation, is it not? Just to get up one morning and find that you're not involved in as the mayor of Nashville. And
yeah, well, I think probably on the 1st September will be my first day off, and I think probably on the 1st of September I'll probably be a little depressed, but by the 2nd I think I'll be all ready to go. It's I'm looking forward to being able to spend some time, and you know, I've been able to take vacation and stuff while I've been mayor, but it's different having the responsibility of the city, and you never quite get away from that, and just, you know, letting it be somebody else's issue for a while looks real attractive to me.
You know, we've got 1 minute and 50 seconds, your time, and anything that you'd like to say as a part in summarizing of what you've been involved in to the people of Nashville. Let's give you an opportunity to do that over the last minute and a half that we have.
Yeah, I just would say, I guess I just would say that I think the future for this city is incredibly bright. I think in a way, some of the most important things that have happened these past few years have been a sense of a kind of a can-do attitude in the city. I know when I ran for office back in 1991, we took a little poll and found that something like 80% of people thought the city was headed in the wrong direction. I think that's almost turned around to 80% think it's headed in the right direction today. And I think, you know, this sense of, you know, as a city we can work together, we can accomplish things, whether it be for education or bringing a football team here or getting parks. It's a real important, that's a real important spirit to have in the city. And I think Nashville has it, has a great deal of it now, and it bodes very well for its future. Economy here is obviously sound. A lot of jobs, in fact, a lot of jobs going asking at the moment. And I feel real good about where we've been, and I think the future is very, very bright. Main thing now to do is just not take anything for granted, not to relax, to keep pushing and trying to make the city a better place. But
Very good.
I'm proud of it.
Mayor, let me thank you in behalf of this station for coming by and giving us that excellent interview and sort of summarizing your administrations in Nashville. And I'm sure that many people are familiar with all of the things that you've talked about, but perhaps we've never had an opportunity to really put them all together, and you did that for us today, and let us thank you for that. And let me encourage our audience to tune in again next week for another informative edition of Comments. Thank you, and good morning.